Hello traders, hope you're doing well. In this video I'm going to make a little walkthrough through Wednesday's price action on the USD CAD, looking at the 4-minute chart here. And first of all, I wanna to make a little reminder of how we can keep things more simple and don't forget about the process. On this channel or on what I do is to primarily focusing on intraday swings. I'm focusing on intraday scalps. That's more of my type of trading. So if you're a swing trader or a position trader or something like that, of course you can apply these concepts to the high time frames, but I prefer to work inside the daily candles. Why do I do that? Well, for one simple reason. I want to be in and out like fast in the market. I don't want to have open positions overnight and over the weekend and stuff like that. Intraday trading is something that just fits my type of trading, so that's why. This is some data from Wednesday, and during the Tuesday we got some high impact news, and we had I guess it was 150-200 pips plus move, bullish run here on the USD CAD. So whenever the market's trading is on that large ranges, I am not a super big fan myself of being part of that move, because one, I am not the best person to find an entry, and when price is just gonna keep trending higher, and I don't want to chase price. I want to get a reason for getting in the market and follow the process of sweeps of liquidity and look for reversals. Of course, you can be a buyer like on Tuesday and finding some fair value gaps and to continue the wave up in price, but that's nothing that I look for. I look for when price is at the high or at the low, and that's enough for me. So when price came up here from Tuesday, I also knew that we had high impact news on yesterday, so I was waiting for the news release. I am never trading in front of the news. I want to wait for the release and then see what happens in price. But prior to the news release, many times I can see a setup forming. If, like in this case, when a setup is formed and the news release is inside a setup, I'm just waiting for the news, so it doesn't make some weird stuff, wicking back and forth, stuff like that. But anyway, back to the charts. So when price coming up here, new day starts here. It's the same process over and over again. I wanna look for trades at the high or at the low. So finally, price putting in a high here, which became the Asian session high. So of course you can be a trader in the London session here, but it's all about you. Would you prefer if you want to wait for the news release, or if you're thinking, I see the setup forming in the London session, maybe I can take a little scalp? Nothing wrong with that. All up to you, own rules and what you have seen in price. If you see a setup forming, maybe in the gap time between London and the New York session, if you see it, you see it. If you take it, you take it. You don't it's not a competition for someone else, it's for yourself. So if you see a setup form between the gap time and maybe this is what I'm looking for, well, nothing wrong with taking that trade. So back to the charts. Asian session puts in a high here, it puts in a low here. So whenever I'm inside, like it can be a session high low, it can be a daily high low, you know, stuff like that, I'm just waiting for price to break out on one of these sides and see if we get our reversal pattern. So a little bit of shop here. This could potentially be a loss if, you know, price putting in a high here, attacks it once more, short little break here of a swing. So if you took this, you know, fair value gap for a sell, to me that's nothing wrong with it. It's just one of those trades, I guess. It's just a loss, nothing to do about that. But anyway, price attacking the high here, sells off into the low of the day here, so we attack a sell side pull, and doing what? It forms a little swing here, attacks it once more, and we get a reaction. So we get a market structure shift here with a fair value gap created. So as I told you before, if you see this prior to the news release and you think you have time enough to, you know, maybe attack the high here or something like that, well, go for it. I mean, you see what you see in price. Price trading down into a discount here, so we have a fair value gap here. We can take a entry off if we see this setup is forming. What do we attack? Well, of course we can be target of the half the day here, but we also have a bearish breaker here, low high, you know, lower low, and this is a 50-minute fair value gap or something. So when price is trading above this high here, I would be a little bit careful when price is trading up into this breaker, because it's, you know, it can just be a sweep of this high into the breaker here, whoops, for a sell-off again, because we have relative equal lows down here. So this now gonna become the low of the day. Draw a line right here. But as you see, price traded right through. So when price is doing that, and we have a news release here, right on this candle, I think it was that candle here, yeah, you see a little wick there. We are at the high of the day here, so we have a buy side pull swept here, buy side swept. And do we get a reaction here? To me, yes, we have it, because we have a swing low here, price breaks it, comes up into probably a high time frame fair value gap here, 10 minutes or something, maybe 15, I don't know, price breaking down again, and we create another fair value gap right here. So when I see this fair value gap is formed, this is a sell signal to me, following the rules of the mentorship, because we have a buy side sweep, we have a shift, we have a breakdown, fair value gap created, and when I also saw this consolidation here that was formed prior to this buy side sweep here, I would see this as a market maker sell model with the original consolidation here. It leaves, breaking down, so some type of smart money reversal up here, you know, redistribution, selling off into the low of the day. When price is reaching down into this region down here, here is when my position became most critical, because we are down in a discount relative from this low to this high. So when price is reaching down into this area or zone or whatever you want to call it, I didn't know if this was the low of the day that was actually locked in for, a breakout pullback into a discount for a continuation hour. So I'm very careful when price is reaching those discount prices right here. A little bit of heat here, but then when price sold off here again, I was pretty sure that price was taking out these lows here. Of course, price can reverse from down here and take off higher. My stop loss is already rolled to break even. So yeah, if it was a reversal, well, that's the market. So what's the point of this video? Well, my point here is to try to keep things simple. Are you at the high? Are you at the low? Ask yourself, do we have a shift? Do we have displacement? Going through the process over and over and over again. And after a time, you're gonna see setups forming almost every session. Almost every session, you have some type of clear setup is forming. It's just to see it form in real time. That's the hard part. And some days you don't gonna see it. Some weeks I don't see setups forming. And other people is, sending, setups on these discords and blah blah blah. I took this 1 to 5 trade, yada. One key thing here is to, where it was at least for me, don't be disturbed by other traders. Focus on your own setups, on your own process. This is for you. You don't get more money by someone else is taking trades. It's nonsense to see what other people doing in the markets. Of course, you can take some advice if you had a loss, for example, and was this a great setup, stuff like that. But primarily, focus on your own process, focus on your own trades, and focus on what you want to see. That's the key. The point here is also try to keep it simple. Are we at the high? Are we at the low? Do we get a reversal? Do we have a clear object of selling or buyback our position? Well, just go with it. And that's pretty much what I do. I ask myself, have we taken out liquidity? Have we a shift, a farewell gap credit? Well, if those three criteria is filled with a clear object to sell or buy back my position, guess what? That's a setup is formed. That's why I like to be an intraday trader, because you're gonna find those setups almost every day in the market. And of course, you have some executions here. You can see them. I'm selling this farewell gap here and buying back at this low down here. I think that was all for today, and yeah, I think it was all. See you next time, and have a nice day.